All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the DotaPit League season number 3. Of course, this is our second day of second day action. Excuse me. Team Empire versus Virtus.Pro, our second series of the day underway now. 2-game series coming through, a CIS affair, if you will. Very excited to bring you the action. Of course, my name is Mont. Joining me today, our production manager Pitmunkle, of course, my co-caster Tralf, who's been with me for the brunt of the day. Tralf, how the hell are you, man? Uh-oh, we lost him. We lost him, folks. His microphone is muted. Rip. Sounds muted as well. That's a problem. Hold on. Well, we'll get it sorted out. All right. Axe pick, first pick for Virtus.Pro. Team Empire, they've got to pick as well. So, all right. Tralf, are you here, buddy? Hello?
How
are you?
My bad. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I don't know why I like muted it for a second and I just forgot about it. I'm a dumbass. All right.
Happens.
We're good.
All right, we're into the game now. Virtus.Pro versus Team Empire, an all CIS affair. We have the first pick Axe coming up for Virtus.Pro. Wouldn't have it any other way. Pretty solid pick. And I have to say, I actually haven't seen these two guys play in a long time. Virtus.Pro and Team Empire. Very solid teams that we really haven't seen too much of recently. Very excited for the game, man.
Yeah, the games I have seen of Team Empire, they've actually performed phenomenally well. It was a shame that they weren't able to perform at DAC, and I was really hoping they would have been able to. But yeah, I'm very curious to see how they're standing up. I'm wondering if they're still scrimming regularly or keeping up in shape, because like I said, the last time I've seen them, they were very, very strong, and I was extremely impressed by them. Yeah. So we'll have to see if they can keep that momentum going into this match against Virtus.Pro.
Yeah, I think Empire is probably one of the... In terms of the CIS scene, I think Empire might be the most solid team, or one of the most solid teams. We talk a lot about Asus Polar, but I think Empire, the way they've been playing recently, even in the last DotaPit, they've looked very strong, very solid. So I'm excited with what they can do. They have a very solid lineup. Virtus.Pro, don't overlook them either. G is a very, very good player, and he more often than not carries this team to victory. They'll go for the Axe Chen startup here with their draft. Empire go for the Bat Rider Vengeful Spirit. A lot of Bat pick coming out. We talk a lot about how the Chinese teams love to pick up Bat Rider. Now it's getting a lot more play in the Western scene. People are starting to realize that, hey, this hero is still very good. We don't have to pick it 5th. We could pick it early on in the draft and run it really well, like we saw Niqua play in those games with Alliance not too long ago.
Especially when they couple the pairing, or they have the pairing with Vengeful Spirit, too. So they not only give themselves one of the strongest supports, the most popular supports in the metagame right now, but also effectively banning it out, really, so to speak, from the other team, which is one of the better counters to Bat Rider. Although we did see it last game, Vengeful Spirit versus the Bat Rider, and it wasn't too effective, just because you really do, I feel like, have to get that level 2 swap to make it feel much more effective in general. So yeah, it's still a counter pick, so to speak, but it's also in its own right a very good pick against Axe, because Axe has that what people call like a 10-second cooldown RP, so to speak, with the call, but it's also a very good tool getting people out of that as well. So yeah, I think it's a very good pickup. It will halt the push just a little bit from Chen Kreese with the negative armor onto them. So I like it. I like this startup here from Team Empire. The Axe Chen here for Virtus.Pro, a little bit different. Haven't seen this pairing, at least in the initial picking stage, but I mean, Axe is, even with a nerf stick coming, I think is still ridiculously strong.
Yeah, I think They didn't change enough. I talk a lot about this, but I feel like they didn't change the Berserker's Call enough to it being impacted enough. And the heroes are still going to get picked first. Like the two heroes they wanted to change with the patch, Axe and Juggernaut, really haven't been, they've been picked pretty much every game still, or banned every game. So whatever they thought was going to happen with this patch, it didn't do much. Maybe they're just waiting for a big patch later on down the line, which I'm sure is a possibility, but who knows when that'll happen. We still have a long time before TI5 as well, so I imagine at least one more big patch coming before we do hit the TI qualifiers, and then from there, who knows what'll happen. But we're still in this current metagame. The last couple bans coming out before we get through here to the second. Lycan, Drow, Doctor. Some smart bans coming out from both teams.
I think the Drow ban is really smart. I think Drow is pretty damn good against Axe and just Drow lineups in general. Obviously, getting more ranged heroes against Axe is a somewhat nice way to counter him. And then having not only a ranged hero, but ranged hero that applies lots of extra damage to other ranged heroes, and then applies a very, very effective slow, which gives you a kiting ability against Axe. So I like that ban coming out from Virtus.Pro. Shadow Fiend is going to be the pickup for the mid lane, presumably for Team Empire. Nothing crazy about that. Pretty damn strong in general. Ridiculously strong ever since they changed the raises just slightly, but actually the slight change, or I should say slight buff to the raises, actually went a big way in general for the hero. We've seen a lot more play since that happened.
He wasn't touched before that change, really. I mean, he was picked occasionally, I should say, like he always has been. Been touched occasionally every patch, but he has blown up this patch, especially since DAC. Even before that, I noticed that specifically Sumail and a lot of other people in NEO were picking him a lot, and that seemed to be the trend. People started that hero, and for good reason. Yule Scepter is going to come out probably. Duel's Requiem's pretty good ability. So for now, for Virtus.Pro, how do you deal with the Shadow Fiend? Blink Berserker's Call would be pretty good, but where's your damage coming from? You have counter helixes, but maybe need something else as well on top of it. See what they draft next.
They got 3 other heroes to decide that, so they could go with a Lion as their solo support, which would work nicely against the Bat Rider. That would certainly solve the problem of burst damage against Shadow Fiend if they are looking for damage with the Axe. Another option is the Skywrath. It's actually pretty damn good. The Axe too. Like typically you think of Skywrath and Void, or Skywrath and Bat Rider, but there's tons of abilities to keep people in place just long enough for that ultimate to be effective, and Axe is definitely one of those heroes that has an ability to do that. So Skywrath could be an option, like I said, Lion. They have a lot of different options.
We see a lot of Chen Rubik. I don't know if Virtus.Pro like to run that. I'm not sure if they're... I mean, they go for the Bane, actually, so that's going to be their solo support. That's pretty good, I'd say. I like the lockdown that it gives you. A lot of nuke damage coming out, so that's the extra bit of damage. Rain Staff's pretty good in terms of damage. It's a good ability overall, so...
Yeah, the reason why I like Bane with N is because it's a solo support that can kind of hold his own without feeling like he's super ineffective in the laning stage. Like, he can solo zone out pretty much any hero because his auto attack damage is pretty damn good. While he doesn't have the highest range, it's still decent damage, and because you always have that fail-safe of not only damaging someone with a pure damage nuke, but also gaining the HP back, it makes it so that your harass is just that much more scary. So I like the combination in that sense. Although, one of the best heroes and best counters to Bane in general is the Rubik. Not only can you steal the ultimate very, very easily, because you can't cast anything. Like, it's not like you can stop the ultimate to cast something else, because you have to channel the ultimate. So it's one of the easiest ults to steal in the game for Rubik, not to mention, after you steal it, or even while you're stealing it, you can stop his ultimate by just using a telekinesis. So probably the best hero against Bane in the entire game.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Coupled with the Vengeful Spirit as well, Wave of Terror, decent chunk of damage in terms of Fade Bolt plus Magic Missile. I think this is a very good support duo that we don't see too often. But yeah, I mean, he's also got some decent spells to steal. Maybe steal Axe's Counter Helix, or rather not Counter Helix, Berserker's Call, maybe even Culling Blade, steal Chen, send back, or Hand of God if you're lucky. But more so than anything, it's for the Bane, I think, like you talked about. Virtus.Pro, now you have to wonder, well, what do we pick here to fight into a Rubik, a Shadow Fiend, whatever they have to work with. I like Empire's draft a lot more than I like Virtus.Pro's right now, because it feels like they're counteracting Virtus.Pro's draft.
I still think Axe, Chen, and Bane are pretty strong. And I like I said, I still think that Bane as his own support is, Centaur. So there's just going to be either a farming Axe, or actually guys could be a farming Centaur. Just get a super fast blink on him. So that means that this I'm presuming this last hero is going to be a mid laner. Needs to
Yeah.
be something that really packs a punch in the late game. There's a lot of different options. They could go like a Razor and just try to maybe end the game in 30 to 35 minutes. I think Razor also is still pretty damn good in the late game.
Yeah.
Would actually be very good against Rubik because Rubik is all single target. His Telekinesis single target, his Fade Bolt single target, and his ult single target. So every one of his spells will be proccing the what's it called? The static field, I think.
Yes, you're
Okay.
right. That's it.
Nice. So whenever I see Rubik, I instinctively think Razor. Vengeful Spirit's also got 2 spells. Razor's actually phenomenal against Batrider too, because if you don't have a BKB, it will just keep him there when he lassos you. So you basically have to lasso someone else. You can't really lasso the Razor unless you're really, really fast with the Force Staff or you have a BKB. So if I'm Virtus.Pro, I'm definitely thinking Razor. I'm wondering if they have the same train of thought as me. Empire, I haven't really thought about what they want, so I don't know. The draft is their oyster, or the world is their oyster, I should say.
Yeah, for Empire, they need a safe laner here to pair with the Rubik and the Vengeful Spirit. For Virtus.Pro, I just don't see G playing Razor that often, and they can give it to another player like BZZ, but I don't know. I think G likes to play more hard farming heroes.
More.
Also, I gotta ask you, man, what the hell happened to Invoker? Like, I don't see him at all anymore.
I don't know. There's so many different reasons why. I guess this could be like Morphling or Luna. Oh, Storm Spirit. Okay.
Nice. That's a good pick.
Interesting. It's a good pick, except I think Axe is really, really good against it. And Bane's really good against it too, so kind of interesting to me. I'm not sold on the pick, but yeah, if I'm Virtus.Pro, okay, Razor's really, really good against the heroes I had to mention, but not very good against Storm, so that's the only thing. I still think Razor's phenomenally good here, but to answer your question about Invoker, I don't know. I still see teams pick him up in like Drow Ranger lineups.
Yeah.
Really good with that. But other than that, it's just not a strong mid laner. And especially when we have heroes like Shadow Fiend that are like right now I think one of the
you called it.
a Morphling.
Well,
I think with heroes like Shadow Fiend in the mid lane, you need a stronger mid lane to go against him. So heroes like Puck, Shadow Fiend, Quap, these are the stronger heroes that are in mid lane, and just Invoker can't stand up to those stronger mid laners.
How was a Morphling matchup against Shadow Fiend? I feel like SF's
owned.
Yeah, this is
I
like...
think SF easily wins that, but
yeah, exactly.
There is potential for outplay, but especially with the raise buffs, like no Morphling. Again, in a perfect world, you want Morphling to get the whatever it's called, your stat or your the actual morph ability at first, so you can get extra damage for easy last hitting. But that means your HP is very low, which means you're very susceptible to the nukes from Shadow Fiend, which have already gotten buffed. So I think Shadow Fiend easily wins this matchup if he plays his cards right. But
yeah, I don't know about this pick, man. I mean, G is a hard farming carry player that plays in the mid lane, and that's fine. But there are other heroes that are better in this situation, I think, because they are sending BZZ bottom. Probably this. I mean, Sadoi's already gone top to put a ward down, but look at this 5-minute smoke gank aggression coming up from Empire to start things off with a bang here in this series between Virtus.Pro and Empire, our second series of the day. A very cold day in February. Gonna lead things off. Aloha Dance with the telekinesis is going to be in front. Always want to fly, holding his point. Might go for Wave of Terror, or rather for, Wave of Terror or for the Magic Missile. They're going to run right into Jotum. They get the telekinesis off. This is going to be your first blood. Magic Missile, double raise, triple raise. The Nightmare keeps him on. Oh! Jotum! Oh my god! Holy shit. What a deny. All right, I'm sorry I freaked out, but that was amazing to me.
What a play, man. That was... I mean, you could say maybe it was a problem from Empire to not, like, go crazy on all their spells and just secure it, but, I mean, that was a nice play by Jotum. Perfect timing, and not to mention you've used almost all your mana for Shadow Fiend, so coming into this lane, you have basically one raise until your bottle. So...
oh my god.
Could have been a very easy first blood for the Shadow Fiend, or someone else has turned into...
Oh, no, he's going to feed away first blood. Aloha Dance, you've walked into a world of hurt. The body blocks from BZZ. How does this happen? How does this turn around? Jotum, moments away from
first blood.
Moments away from feeding first blood away. He is the one to pick it up. You couldn't ask for a better start for a story here in this game. Unbelievable, man. I can't believe it.
Oh, jeez. And like I mentioned, okay, that's your one raise for Shadow Fiend. So until he gets his bottle, and he's got no extra damage, and he didn't go for the damage build, so he needs to desperately get these last hits, or else he's not going to have his bottle, and he's in an even or a fast rate. Misses that one too. Missed the free CS that he had. So this should have been a very easy start here for Shadow Fiends. There you go. Now
He got it. All right, we're good now. We did it, everybody. Meanwhile, he's setting out a salve. They're gonna throw out the Wild Wing Ripper. Oh, Resolution is like, come on, guys, just leave me alone here, please. All right.
And now this is gonna be tons of CS for G. So he's up to 5 and 4. It's probably gonna be. Oh, he messed that up a little bit. So he's 5 and 4, but he should be like getting hurt badly at this stage of the game. And I'm actually surprised he went for the early Raze build instead of just getting the Wraith Bands. I think that you can punish a Morphling pretty easily with auto attacks, but oh man, this is. Oh, he actually misses the waveform.
Yeah, he did one right click, I think, but he missed the actual damage from the waveform. That would have done a lot against Resolution. And he's got to ferry his bottle back. This is going to take a long time. They are rotating Aloha Dance mid, but already, man, this is maybe not going as well as Empire would hope. Although they have the lead CS in the safe flowing Stormer Spirit up at top. They actually almost got a kill on Sadoy, who was able to regen up. Well, I can't get over that. That turn of events down bottom. Okay, well, we'll try to press on here in this game as G continues to farm in the mid lane. He has like 4 more CS than this Shadow Fiend. He's denied a lot of groups. G is certainly outplaying him for the time being, but that could change quickly.
I do think his CS should actually be higher as well. But, like I said, the utilization of top lane. We actually have a lift.
Nieces? They're not going to do anything bottom lane. Maybe Berserker's Call just misses on Yoki. Guys, could you not go the same time in different lanes, please? Make my life easier.
Tons of stacks onto both heroes in the lane. There's actually 4 stacks on the Axe. It's going to make it a little bit easier for Yoki to get some CS. And actually, he's 8 and 3 without having to go to the jungle or anything like that. So, doing pretty good in this bottom lane. Doing actually a lot better than Sadoy, who's only level 2 and has only 1 CS. But this is basically a full-on, or it was a full-on tri-lane against a 1 hero. Whereas Batrider only has to deal with 2 heroes, and he's a Batrider, which is a better offlane hero. And he's on Dire, which is easier.
He's got a pretty good. He's level 4. He's got 800 gold. He's got everything he pretty much wants. Resolution mid lane finally gets boots. Bottle continues to ferry back and forth between the base and himself. Bottle G should have one now. In fact, he does. So Bottle up, and G's still in the CS lead for the time being, but that'll probably change pretty soon. There is this early smoke gank from Yol and Jodam, and you see this without fail between 2 and 4 minutes, generally 3 and 4 minutes. Try to go to the mid lane, maybe actually heading top instead. They're going to wrap around on the mid lane. Will they go to the jungle, or will they try to go into Resolution?
SF. They're going to go SF.
They need a magic missile to start things off, or a Bane Nightmare. They're going to pop the Nightmare. Centaur Conqueror Stomp's about to go. There it goes. Takes the Nightmare off. Waveform can try to finish this kill off, and will do so. Easy kill from Virtus.Pro. Well-timed, really good gank, and that provides Morphling a lot.
Yeah, very, very simple and well-executed gank, but it does work out. Morphling is going to hit level 5. Like you mentioned, though, they are getting a lot more farm on this Storm Spirit, whereas the Axe only has 14 CS. So that's the big discrepancy here. Have they stacked it all for the Batrider? They have.
They actually catch out Always Want to Fly. They have a Centaur Conqueror Stomp. Do they have the damage, though? Aloha Dance is going to telekinesis, probably bring him to the high ground. Magic Missile goes. Do they have the damage? They don't have mana for Brain Sap. He has enough stick charges. This should be a kill. One right click, Jodam will fall. Okay, or rather, Jodam will get the kill on Always Want to Fly, who does fall. So, 2 rotations secure 2 kills for Virtus.Pro. Meanwhile, Sadoy pops a Stomp onto Silent. Doesn't really find anything with it, just kind of harasses him. So, I mean, the only thing really going well for Empire now is Silence Farm. Everything else is kind of... it's teetering on the edge of disaster here.
Well, he is significantly more farmed, though, so that is really good for him.
Yes.
And when he hits level 6, I'm pretty sure they can just... Actually, they might even be able to do this beforehand. Oh, he actually stacked his... He stacked the damage on his Overload, unfortunately. He already had 1 Overload ready, and he used another spell, so he could have got a lot more damage out of that had he attacked first and then pulled. Maybe gets the kill.
They're going to go on to Yoki. They're going to Nightmare him. They need a Berserker's Call to start things off, though, and they're going to do just that. He actually takes the Nightmare off of him because of the Berserker's Call being physical. That was awkward. And they actually are going to lose Jodam, I think. Jodam's probably dead. He could Brain Sap. He could turn around and Brain Sap to try to stay alive. He's going to do that. The turn radius is so bad. He could Nightmare himself. He'll do so. He's gonna fall to the Firefly. Berserker's call, and now BZZ is in trouble. He does get the Helix procs.
No!
Off one. He almost gets always want to fly. He doesn't have dunk though. He's so close. He gets the battle hunger off. He gets one kill, but he dies to the stick and napalm of Yoki. He does turn around a little bit, but a really good initiation. Yoki stays alive through the entire fight. He'll buy Tranquils more than likely here at the side shop. He also has 600 gold to work with in terms of getting close to that Blink Dagger. So far, so good in this bottom lane and in the top lane for Empire, actually.
I think if Axe got more lucky with the spins, that would have been disastrous for Empire. I thought that was going to be a mistake for the lasso, but he only got one spin out of that, and
Oh yeah, Aloha Dance. I was watching him the entire time. Just a nice kill. Haste Rune picked up, bottles up, uses his waveform, and gets an easy kill. And so the supports of Empire aren't having a good time, but it's really the story of the Storm and the Bat Rider for Empire at this point.
yeah, Morphling does spot out the stack. He pings it out. That would be so devastating if somehow they could steal it. Oh, there's a call onto Yoki, taking a lot of damage. Spins 1, 2. He's actually going into them, but of course, with no other things attacking Axe's rate to proc the counter helix is pretty much close to nothing. He has to get it from the attacks from Yoki himself. So
Is Firefly considered as one instance of damage when it's on you? It's not multiple procs? Otherwise, I think that would be
it has
imbalanced.
to be. It needs to be auto attacks. And yeah,
Okay,
they
oh,
do
yeah,
spot
yeah,
out the. Oh, Aloha Dance taking a lot of damage. Morphling, he actually takes a lot of the creeps here. He's low on mana though. If they get rotations here,
He doesn't have a
maybe get
replicate either. Oh, they Nightmare Resolution. He takes it off. They're still trying to chase after G, but that provides him enough time to TP out. I'm not sure what happened bottom. I had a brain fart, but they're going to go on to Sidoi. Nope, he's fine. The Storm is looking for these pulls, and I wanted to ask you. I noticed that Sumail generally goes for one build, which is just getting your overload maxed as quickly as possible, and then getting pull at like level 8. Silent is foregoing that altogether. He gets 1 point Remnant and then 2 points of the Vortex. What do you think about the early pull here?
I think early pull is fine, but I don't think 2 points into it is worth it at all. Like, I think no matter what, maxing overload by 7 is almost always what you want to do. It's just so much better. That's where all your damage is coming from. One tiny little zip, not even... Oh, actually bottom.
They kill him? They're going to send BZZ home. I don't think Yoki's fine.
That's a long send back. Okay, never mind. He sent it back much earlier, so...
Oh, yeah, Aloha Dance has got to be careful. Brain Sap, oh, actually gets canceled by the telekinesis stun. They'll try to chase after Resolution, but you can see always one of Flies nearby to help out if necessary. So, it's so hard. Again, fighting all over the map. Top lane, top jungle, bottom jungle. You look at Sidoi looking for always one. Sidoi did see him, all right? Yeah, okay. I'm not crazy. But it's too late. He's not going to chase after him. I don't know if they know this ward got placed. Jadam doesn't have a sentry. He'll walk right by it. Actually standing on top of it for the most part, but another awkward engagement.
He's actually bringing out sentries right now, so I think it was.
Yep. That'll get countered immediately. A nice ward placement, but only when you do it a little bit more quiet. So Jadam will throw that sentry ward down and bye.
Well, Sidoi's getting decent levels, except bottom lane.
And they finally kill Yoki. He's not really getting the Helix procs right now, but that should be enough. Oh, he misses the Calling Blade, the stick from Yoki. He gets the lasso off. It actually wasted. That's kind of a problem. That's actually almost his Blink Dagger for Axe. Okay.
That's really good for him, actually. So 100, actually less than 100 more gold, and he'll have it. Resolution, he's farming some stacks. He's actually going to go for a fast mech here. He goes for the headdress, and then he actually buys the Sage as a mask, so... That's a weird progression into the Yules if I've ever seen one.
He can't decide what he wants.
He just simply can't.
No. Resolution will continue to farm. Raises up in the jungle. They've given the mid lane over to the Venge, which is fine, but that means G's getting free farm here in this lane.
It's for the Aquila. Okay.
Alright, so...
So it probably will be a fast mech then.
Joy continue to farm up here in the top lane. Leading net worth is going to be your Storm Spirit. He has a Soul Ring, he has a bottle, he has treads as well. It looks like he'll be going for his Orchid next. He's at the Robe of the Magi as well. Meanwhile, the Blink Dagger should be done. Yeah, it is for BZZ. So now this is when it gets kind of scary if you're Empire. Blink Berserker's Call is going to be a problem. Tough to deal with.
I think the scary thing here for Empire is that Morphling's had a much better time than he should have had. And it all comes back to that level 1 engagement. Tons of mana used from the Shadow Fiend, so he wasn't able to really assert his dominance in the lane that I think he should have won. But the big thing, though, they have the Storm Spirit who's going to have a very early Orchids. And he's gonna be putting out so much damage.
Silent will probably take over this game if he gets an Orchid within, let's say, 5 minutes from now, which isn't. That's pretty likely. I'd say 15-minute Orchid with the start that he's had is pretty good. Like, he'll probably have the first Oblivion staff here in the next couple of moments. He has enough money for the quarter staff, and then Sage's Mask is pretty cheap, so he should be fine. They're trying to rotate down bottom for Virtus.Pro. They might want to go here onto Yoki, who is getting close to his Blink Dagger as an offlane Bat Rider without heading to the jungle at 11 minutes. Like, he hasn't touched the jungle once on this offlane Bat. Not that I remember, anyway.
I think they can force spells out from VP if they try. Oh, might be too late now because Axis rotated top, and this could be a very easy kill onto. Oh, he's actually smoked up too.
Yeah, this could be huge onto Silent. Silent does have Ball Lightning, but if he gets Berserker's Call followed up by a Stomp from the Centaur Owner, it's lights out for Silent. So we'll have to see if they rotate into the jungle here. Silent's going to rotate back into the lane. He's going to continue to get CS. He doesn't know anything is different about this rotation. BZZ's ready to go with Blink Berserker's Call. Silent,
oh, no.
Gonna get caught out. Almost Ball Lightning's away. Counter Helix is not there. Stampede's gonna go. He Ball Lightning's out. They weren't ready for it. He had to go because the smoke broke. If BZZ does not get that kill, that could have been huge, but turns it into nothing.
It's actually a huge deal that Storm went to the side to finish off the Oblivion staff. If he didn't, he would have just continued farming in the lane. It would have been a for sure kill with extra procs for the counter Helix. So that little thing actually makes a huge difference.
And BZZ was going after the top rune spot. He does get the bounty rune, but almost dies for it. Bottom rune spot, Yoki's going to get caught. He has Firefly, though, so G will not be able to chase any further, but still putting in some pressure. And now Empire, maybe is smoke coming out. They have one on the Rubik. They're going to use it. They're going to head towards the mid lane, and not much counter initiation here. Yol does have Hand of God, but G is the target for sure, and they're going to try to go on him. He's maybe going to wait for him away. He will make it out in time, and so a 4-man smoke rotation. Actually, 5-man Blink Berserker's Call onto 3. Aloha Dance is going to fall. Silence getting low. The Fiend's Grip on the Resolution swap out, but that is not going to save his life. Calling Blade jams it in. Silent out of mana. G already used Waveform. He's got Replicate. Stomp is up, but Ball Lightning trying to dodge it out of mana. Sidoi is so close, but can't chase him down. The sticky Napalm slow is too strong. Still chasing after Yoki. He's going to get to the high ground. G and the rest of Virtus.Pro should back off and just take this tower. They've got what they came for. Really solid fight from Virtus.Pro. Really great counter initiation. BZZ, the Axe player, getting it done. They're going to keep going. And Snare and always want to fly. They won't go any further, though. They really should just focus this tower down, and they're not really doing so.
Oh, there's a potential for another call as well. Blink is up onto the bat, though, but he has no Force Staff.
Now look at Always Want to Fly, and yeah, Always Want to Fly is going to die. Waveform forward, and misses completely. G doesn't have a Replicate. Needs to be very careful. Blink Lasso is ready to go if they want to, but not going to go for it.
It's really hard to Blink Lasso into a Chen when he has creeps, and to an Axe when you don't have an early Force Staff. Like This is one of those lineups. Sometimes it's okay, you can get away with the early blinks and early pickoffs with Lasso, but this is one of those games where I feel like he just has to fast farm his Force until he can actually do something. That was a really sick steal by Rubik, by the way, stealing that Stampede instantly and actually getting him out of the range for the Centaur Stomp. Really nice play there by Aloha Dance. But yeah, that initial 3-man call was massive, and it really is starting to snowball VP into a dominating position. And look at that, the graph's reflected.
2,000 net worth lead for Virtus.Pro, climbing steadily, and same for the experience lead as well. And so, despite how good of a start Silent had, he goes down pretty quickly, and he can't really do much in that fight. The rest of his squad dies for the most part, and they're forced to back up, lose a tier 1 tower, and lose even more off the back end of that. G now up to an ultimate orb. Lincoln Sphere seems pretty good this game. Could be a good choice. See what he goes for. More than likely Lincoln's. Actually, Lincoln's first seems like the standard build for Morphling, but is that what people are building nowadays? I'm not sure.
It depends on the game. It
Yeah.
really does. I don't think, like, it used to be a standard, like, build Lincolns no matter what kind of thing, but players are getting a lot better about evaluating the situation, evaluating the game.
He has Replicate. He'll get Telekinesis. Maybe he can get out. Oh, he's going to get lassoed. He actually
He's
strike
morphing.
morphs. He should be fine. And he just replicates out. Jotum is... I don't know why he stayed. He's going to get stampeded away. He thought about going one way, goes the other way. We'll probably TP out here in a moment. He should not stay any... Oh, he's not going to TP out. They don't have lasso. They're just going to dive him. Yeah, this is a dead Jotum. I think he doesn't have Fiends, does he? He tried to get it off. No such luck. Nice pull from Silent. Good gank, good dive. Jotum stays too long. Trade for tier 1 tower, top for tier 1 bottom. Maybe coming out. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't think that they're going to defend this. It's going to be happy taking top. Morphling, despite having a very, very good time, one of the weaknesses of this hero is he doesn't team fight well early on at all. His only damage spell is much away for him, but if you're using it as a damage spell, then you better hope to God that you have a replicate back up because you have no other way of getting out, so.
Yeah.
The one thing that they do have going for them is that until they get the Orchids up on Storm, which is actually coming out relatively late considering he was free farming the top lane, but until that comes out, that is the only thing that will stop his morphing, I believe. I'm trying to look around here, yeah. So, I don't think they have the burst damage to them unless they get this Orchids off, so that's one thing you do have to be a little bit worrisome if you're Empire. Like, that's your one to really shut down this morphling.
And now he's like split pushing. Like, he would TP back, he replicates the Shen, he sends the replicate top, and then just replicates back in after waveforming onto the Shadow Fiend and making him a bit nervous. He's going to walk right into Resolution, though. He has to waveform out. He can Strength Morph, but he doesn't have a TV scroll. Might have put himself in a bad position, but there's no follow-up, so he's okay. He can get a bit aggressive. So if you're Morphling, at what point do you farm? Do you wait for your full Lincoln Sphere, or do you wait for another item after your Lincoln Sphere before you start getting involved?
You keep farming through your Lincoln Sphere, I think.
Okay.
Like, Morphling's a hero, I don't think you just keep farming until you build Shotgun. Or if, you know, obviously if a team is overextending and diving and you have the means to fight, then you obviously go and help your team, but
right.
primarily you want to just keep farming. This is definitely going to be a good game for him to get a BKB, or at least a Manta, just to get out of the Orchids. And speaking of Orchids, there we go.
There it is. He doesn't have
This
his Lincoln
should be a
Sphere, and he
kill.
can't morph. Now he finally can. Still silenced up. He actually goes down to the Soul Burn. And Snare coming out so far. Good fight for Empire. Yol out of mana. Hand of God off cooldown, was able to use it had he had mana, but the double kill from Silent, now he's coming online. Sidori gonna get caught out with Telekinesis, Fade Bolt, Magic Missile as well. No Stampede to work with. He's got Blink if he can get it off, but now it looks like, but the call coming in. Can he get any of these kills? The Blink Stomp onto 3, Double Edge onto 2. Silent about to get jammed in. Ball of Lightning keeps him alive. He's so low. Now the Fiends grab onto Yoki. Silent will stay alive. What a counter initiation from BZZ. Berserker's call is gonna go. There's the jam. Double kill for BZZ. 3 dead. They get the 4th. Sidori gets the kill on the Storm. He was out of mana. He was able to chase him down. 4 for 2 trade. What a counter initiation. Axe, good hero.
Clearly hasn't been nerfed enough yet, I think is the big issue here. No, but I think the biggest thing was, yeah, it was a great 3-man call, fantastic, but if he didn't have the follow from Centaur, I don't think they get any of those kills. Maybe they get one if he gets super, super lucky with the counter helix, but Batrider did not cancel the blink from the Centaur. He had like 2 sticky napalm stacks on him, and he just like slowly turned around and blinked away. And the auto attack came out way too late from Yoki, and didn't cancel the blink from the Centaur. And that was the main reason why that all happened. Was the great reinitiation from Sidoi, the big follow up from the hoof stomp and then the double edge. So nicely played.
That team fight was so sexy that we're gonna watch it again. We're gonna send it over to Pimp Uncle. Pimp, what's up?
Alright, boys, let's switch those scenes. There we go. Alright, so everything started with a nice Orchid pickup. Yeah, it was late, but it was damn effective, actually. And, well, you just destroy a Morphling if he isn't really prepared for this whole thing. And from there, well, it was actually a pretty nice fight for Empire until this amazing call happened. And, well, so far it's looking actually pretty nice for Empire. Everyone is grouping up just a bit too much. Sidoi even just getting away at the brink of an eye. And, well, let's just wait for the reinitiation. And there it is. BZ is coming in 3 men, and this is pretty much how it went, and they clean up everyone, even Silent can't get away. And since there's a smoking going on, let's switch back to the broadcast of the live feed. More, take it away.
Thanks, Pimp. They were actually trying to go for Roshan for Empire. Virtus.Pro sniff it out. They're going to smoke up, and they're going to head towards the middle lane. They won't find anybody. Empire going to head to their own jungle, head up towards that top lane. Virtus.Pro might consider Roshan for themselves at this point. Probably not, though. Maybe they will. They're going to head into the pit. G has some decent right-click damage. They have Roche pretty low already. And they're going to finish this off. And Empire really aren't in position. Always Want to Fly is going to get here. He's going to almost whip up Tear Roshan. Doesn't help them out, though. He will miss it onto Roche. And this should be theirs. Yoki can trade. Maybe push his way up the high ground. No such luck. But there's Roche. It's going to go down. Age is picked up for G. They want to initiate onto Yoki.
Oh!
Blink, stop, and Yoki gets caught out. The Fiends grip from the low ground. Big kill coming out from G and Virtus.Pro in general. What an initiation.
What a grip by Jodam. Luckily he had extra vision there because he just placed the ward, and it was like, it must have been the longest range grip too, because I know it can look extra long range sometimes if like you start the grip animation and they walk away, but I think he was just really, really far away initially. Very nicely played by Jodam. And yeah, so the Roche goes in the favor of VP. There's the Lincoln Sphere up for the Morphling. Has the Aegis to boot too. And I think he's feeling pretty safe right now. I don't even know if he has to go for the BKB or Manta right now. I think he can just go straight shotgun.
He should probably be okay. I mean, his team will be able to keep him alive as long as he doesn't get picked off by Silent for the most part alone. He needs to have a teammate nearby, I think, but this has been a really good game so far.
Like, Silent would have to waste his Vortex to get the Orchids off, which is, you know, not ideal. Obviously, if someone else can take out the Lincoln Sphere, and then you can go with the Orchids, but one, then you're burning through a Lincoln Sphere, which means another spell from Empire. Then you can only burn the Aegis. And as long as he has, like, a decent amount of strength to start out before the... or, hell, if he just gets the strength gain off before the Orchids, he's totally fine. And that's basically what the Lincolns is for. It buys you enough time to get that off.
Yeah, that was... So, I feel like a lot of this comes down to Storm now. Actually, how is the Shadow Fiend doing? He's sitting at mech, no Yules, went for the Ultimate Orb instead. Probably a Scotty, maybe, coming out for the SF later. 'Cause he has a lot of gold saved up, too.
Yeah, it's funny because, like, normally you would think, oh, action on Sadoy.
Yeah, I think he's dead.
They have Hand of God. They have Hand of God actually may have saved him.
Berserker's Call was a bit rushed there, and BZZ can't really get much done with it, unfortunately. Really good gank. Hand of God goes mid lane to keep G up in fighting shape, but
just to save his creeps.
I mean,
I actually think that he would have saved Centaur there. Would have been close, but unfortunately doesn't use it. Replicate is used on the Axe. One of the best replicate choices in the game, just because you still counter, or you still proc the counter Helix. Really, really good for him. And yeah, it's going to be a Manta, which I find very curious, because extra illusions, if they are clumped up, that's just going to actually be fuel for the fire, so to speak, for BZZ.
That's frightening. Well, Aloha Dance, there's the Telekinesis Orchid, but he already got his Morph off, so it's already pretty much pointless. He doesn't have a Replicate, but he's just going to send G back home. I mean,
wait, Replicate was stolen by Rubik, I think. It's funny.
I don't know how he's going to TP home and then Replicate back in to the mid lane. That's a cheeky... He actually has a Replicate of Morphling. A cheeky play. It's been a weird game, man, I'll tell you. Yeah, also, you know a hero's, like, imbalanced when a Manta style actually is bad for you in certain situations. Like, okay, Axe. That seems fair.
He might have got that if they nerf it. The kill threshold.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't even remember what the scaling was, but
it's like 50 less damage, I think, at every level. Maybe I'm crazy.
Sadoy.
Are you dead against Sadoy? I think so. Oh yeah, you are dead. They're gonna TP in BCZ. BCZ is like, every time Sadoy gets caught out, he's like, don't worry, I'll TP Blink Berserker's Call and then we'll kill everybody. That worked for the first couple minutes of the cast, but since then, it's not really been paying off for BCZ. They've missed a couple of initiations, counter initiations. So Sadoy's playing. Not that, I mean, you don't expect to get ganked when you're pretty much right underneath your tier 2 tower, close to your tier 2 tower bottom, so.
Yeah, especially when their vision is like really far forward on the map. So it's like very close on the side of Empire's base, but actually didn't have any vision on their side or through the river. So when Empire came through, they weren't expecting it, as you mentioned. DD is top. And G is actually not going to go for the shotgun. He's going to go for the Manta. So wants another way out of the Orchids if he does get Orchids. So it's a much safer build. I think he could have got away with the shotgun, but wants to play it a little more safe.
I don't mind this build, but BZZ, he might mind dying. Urn's going to stop his Blink Dagger. That's a really nice Urn usage there, and that'll be on him for... They'll stampede him away. They actually just can't catch up to him. They don't have a Yule Scepter. Lasso's too far away. He has Force Staff. Actually was already used. They'll Flame Break him back, and he's still dead, though. All that for nothing. Berserker's Call actually is avoided by everyone. He falls. So these have been some really nice ganks coming up from Empire the past couple of minutes. But this does leave G with a double damage from taking your tier 2 tower for free. So that just kind of happened.
Yeah, but he's a little bit underfarmed, actually, of the cores of Empire. He's third in overall net worth. That's one of the problems of Morphling. Doesn't farm quickly unless you build a Midas or just really super snowball. Which I actually thought he would, because he had a easier time than he should have in the mid lane. He's got 4 kills under his belt. But yep, he's still sitting in Yasha, still decent farm. And I think Empire's just doing a good job of controlling the Axis game. Like, he's kind of playing responsive Dota. Like, he's just responding to ganks rather than initiating them. He's getting caught out here in several times. So, yeah,
for how good those early fights have been, Virtus.Pro do not have that big of a lead because of exactly what you talked about. G's not farming as well as he could be. So at this point for Virtus.Pro, the onus is on them to maybe fight a bit more than what they're doing right now. I mean, you have Blink on both Sadoy and BZZ. Jottam has a freaking gem, so they're going to start counterwarding like crazy, although they won't see the one that's placed pretty deep into their jungle. And for Empire, as long as they can continue to make room, I'll hold that thought. I thought maybe Silent was going to go in. See, the thing you guys don't know, I don't know if you can hear this, but Pip's in our ear occasionally. So if I go top lane, it's because he's telling me. And 99% of the time, he's right, and I'm going to miss it regardless. So big shout out to him. You're amazing. But that time, Silent decided to juke him, didn't go for the kill. Ball lightning, no pull, no Orchid. It happens.
Interesting here. There's a smoke coming out from Empire, and Invisrun picked up by the Bane. If he can somehow make his way all up here before they initiate something, he can break the smoke and kind of ruin the day of Empire. Here we go, though. Firefly is up. They're looking for a gank.
Oh, BZZ's going to walk forward. They last
Oh,
the replicate. No, the call's going to go in onto Resolution. The stomp as well. Swap out. Fiend's Grip still going to work. Waveform forward. Resolution going to get jammed up. BZ says, how are you doing? You're Dunzo McDunzo. And they get the Brain Step to get the kill onto the Vengeful Spirit. The lasso onto the replicate. The bait. G's going to waveform forward. Adaptive Strike's available. Not really the longest stun duration for that ability. At least not. Oh, G's going in too hard. He does get the Morph off, but doesn't have much mana left. He's going to get Telekinesis still alive. No waveform mana. The call's going to go through. Misses onto Silent. Silent gets the kill. Now the stomp, though. They missed the first Culling Blade. Silent actually out of mana himself, and he denies himself with the nice use of that Bloodstone that he just got. It's still a 4-for-1 trade, though, when it's all said and done. Berserker's Call just misses for BZZ. Really solid fight from Virtus.Pro despite losing G there.
Well, in the end, it turns into a Morphling death for a Rubik death. So, I mean, yeah, you use the Bloodstone on Silent, but I think he's totally fine by that. So,
Yeah.
G getting way too aggressive there and throws his life away as a result. Very nice initiation for Max, and then further initiation from Sadoy. Like, Sadoy's really been on point with these follow-up stuns and whatnot on the Centaur. And he's actually really close to a BKB, too.
Got him dead. He most certainly is, and that's a gem. That is not worth it.
That's huge. That is huge.
What was he doing there? Oh, he was warding. He was putting his ward down, and then he just walks back this way, I guess? That's kind of weird.
Yeah, I guess just didn't anticipate the low death timer from the Storm Spirit. But you have to be worrisome of that. And now he's back up to 7 charges on the Bloodstone. They're pinging out with a deep ward, this Morphling, and they could go for a kill here. If Silent's nearby, he's actually in mid right now.
They break the Lincolns with the Force Staff. They lasso G up. He does Strength War before he gets caught out. The Orchid's going to go. The Amplified damage is going. The Mech is going to save his life for the time being. They are trying to send it back, and they do just in time. Nice place from Virtus.Pro to keep the hero alive. Although, mid lane, Centaur Warlord getting a kill on Always Wanna Fly, who was a bit out of position there without his teammates' help. Nearby was the Shadow Fiend, not that he was able to do much there, and what turns from an early gank actually goes into Sadoy getting a kill onto Always Wanna Fly, so.
Yeah, they get a freebie onto the support, and that's a BKB for Sadoy. So that's going to be really, really good for him. It's going to mitigate all the damage, all the magical damage, obviously, which is huge from the Shadow Fiend, especially now that he's level 16. And I think now he's building a Scotty. He's got 1 ulti orb in his stash. And it looks like they maybe want to gank the Shadow Fiend, actually. They're not smoking, but they're not. I don't think they've ran by a ward either. So.
No, there's no ward they've passed by, but I think the game sense for Resolution at this point is too good. He's back up. I'm out of here. Silent is farming. Like, we talked about how that Orchid was late, but he's still farming very well. He almost has a BKB. He's 400 gold away from it, actually. Ooh, if they can get G, that'd be huge. He does have a replicate, but Ball Lightning, they're going to catch out Sadoy. I think you need to replicate out if you're G at this point. They're going to lose Sadoy, probably. Telekinesis is going to go. Yeah, he's dead. Hand of God keeps him alive. Stomp misses. He actually gets his BKB sent to him. Yol was there for whatever reason. G trying to fight. Wait for him. Might get Aloha Dance. Force Staff pushes him back. I think that was a bit of miscommunication. Yoki was trying to force him towards his own base, instead force him into the enemy team.
Yeah, he turned around to castles or something, and it just didn't work out, but he's probably going to die either way. Invis Rune.
Oh! Silent's going to lose all of his mana here, and the Berserker's Skull is going to come in as well. Can they get the damage off to kill him, though? And nope, Ball Lightning just at the last second. He would have gotten jammed in. He's going to BKB the Battle Hunger to stay alive. What a player. That's his first BKB charge, too.
These grips have been so good from Jottam.
He's been on point.
They really have been on point. Right before he picks up the invis rin.
He was here, right? On the high ground,
Yeah,
like here?
he was right in the neutral camp.
That was really sick. And they almost got the kill, but it just wasn't enough. They'll take Roshan instead. A nice consolation prize. BZZ, I think, has a full Axe flying out to him right now. G has a full Manta flying out to him pretty soon. Does he? Yeah, he has the recipe. No Recro for G. Now it's coming out, but this is going to be an Aegis, and it should be G's. He's going to wait for him, pick it up, back away. They're going to TP to the top lane. They're going to call on the Resolution. No, it's a Stomp instead. He's going to Requiem, not really doing any damage. Shadoi BKBs it for the most part. Still chasing after him. Blink, Berserker's Call, Resolution should fall here. There's the jam for Max. The second Requiem going off. A nice little party bubble bursting. Meanwhile, Yoki, there's a fight break into the backside. G's backing away. Waveform from Aloha Dance. Telekinesis not there. Earn charge up on him. Flame Break's going to push him back. Waveform actually avoids the Flame Break, but they're still in trouble. Hightailing it out of there, and Empire won't chase further. They lost Yol, but that's not that big of a deal, as long as G survives.
And they got the kill in the Shadow Fiend, too.
Yeah.
So with the help of, I think it was the Centaur and the Axe, I want to say. And Axe actually has a Aghanim Scepter now too, so his kill threshold is back up to 550. I want to say it was 650 before with
It was either 650 or 625.
Yeah,
one of the two.
Right. Either way, it was higher, but still he's going to have that low cooldown regardless if he gets it or not. 6 seconds, which is very good for him. Oh, they spot out this. This could be an easy dunk here. Easy dunk if you can get in range.
Oh my god.
Blink
That's
up,
juicy.
dunk.
That's juicy.
Dunk.
It's so juicy for BZZ, and that poor Venge just explodes. It's
Nice.
just
I
that
think he
easy,
actually
man.
got out of vision just for a second, and just guessed it. And they're actually pinging out a ward even though the ward's not there. It's actually in the other spot. So
Yeah, the Venge, that was the Venge's ping too. He's like, there's definitely a ward here. He's like, no.
he's
No,
trying to
there's not.
validate his death.
Yeah, it's like, I definitely didn't feed on purpose. Like, look, it's gonna be fine. We're gonna find that ward measured, calculated. But instead, he dies for nothing. They'll keep pushing mid. They have a replicate behind BZZ, so there's that. Down bottom, silent the rest of Empire here. Pushing in the wave. They're trying to go for this tier 2 tower. Tier 2 top for G is going to take some time to work with, but he should bring it down pretty quickly. There should be a glyph. Yeah, there is one. Meanwhile, Batrider was looking for an initiation on Sidoi. Decides against it. G replicates back as they've TP'd 2 heroes up to the top lane. Now it's time to initiate if you're Virtus.Pro. If you could find somebody to initiate onto, but not that easy. They'll TP away.
Yeah, smart TPs from Empire. They, as soon as they showed their heroes top, they know that VP knows that they're only alone with 3 heroes bottom, so they needed to get the hell on out, and they did. So nice rotations there from Empire. Morphling has picked up his farm though. He's actually surpassed the SF and is really neck and neck with the Storm Spirit. And I think farm on Morphling is well, it's hard to judge that with a Storm because Storm is pretty damn good with farm. But ooh, they're actually still setting up shop here bottom.
They have no vision. Empire have no idea what's happening in the enemy jungle. They have no idea where these heroes are. This could be a disaster if they make the wrong decision. But I don't know. Silence like looking to maybe jump out here and try to grab somebody. On the back end when they retreat out, yeah. Sidoi could be a good target. He might find him. In fact, they're going to walk right into each other.
He should be okay.
BKB is going to go.
Yeah.
Stomp not going to fly. Avoids it. Silent actually just forces out a BKB. Ball landings to the low ground. And oh, blank stomp, but where's the follow-up? I think he should be fine. Yeah, he sounds okay. And well, the pull coming in. Ball lightning away. Axie's like, I want to initiate onto this. Yoki's like, no, we need to leave, dude. It's time to get out. Stampede's going to go. Blank stomp onto Yoki. He actually gets the Yules off. Somehow, but the call does connect. The long-range blink from BZZ. Yoki's like, why did you do that, dude? Why did you just leave me hanging? Oh, okay. I guess I'm dead.
Aloha Dance is split pushing top. That's a Rubik.
Yo, that Rubik right-click, though. 76
Doesn't
base
even-
damage.
Oh no, he's gonna have to. Oh, he actually gets he cancels the TP. So they just want to push. Axe cancels the TP. They're like, no, don't TP back. Who cares? It's just a Rubik.
Rubik,
Let's
man,
just push now. We got the Aegis, and I
We
think
got
this
send
is a smart
back.
call.
It's fine. So they actually have to TP back everybody here to defend. They're going to call Silent. Waveform's going to go. Stomp as well. Nice swap out to keep him alive. And put the Fiend's Grip to follow it up, and he's going to get Culling Bladed. He does have a very short respawn timer, but no buyback. Getting that Bloodstone helping out a little bit. G taking a lot of right click, though. Resolution has a double damage rune. However, G has the Aegis. Call going in onto Aloha Dance. Magic Missile's going to go through, but Aloha is going to get jammed up as well. That Aghanim Scepter going to work for BZZ. There's the Aegis going down, but the Rax is exposed. Buyback from Aloha Dance. Empire are throwing a lot to make sure they can defend this, but they're going to lose this range Rax at the very least. Waveform away from G. Doesn't want to get caught out here. They probably don't go for the melee Rax. I don't think they are that aggressive. Last one's going to go onto Yol. I don't know if they care too much about that. Yol should fall. They'll probably get Jotum as well, but more so than anything, they get the ranged racks. They get a couple of buybacks.
Oh my god, he
A
does
gem
it
again. Oh, come on, man. You can't. Well.
Jotum's
Oh my god.
insane right now.
Yeah, he's so good. He's actually so good.
He's just amazing.
It actually took me a second to realize what happened.
Yeah, another clutch deny. Also, good play by the Chen. It would have been an and one on the Axe. Like, they definitely would have killed the Axe, but they got the fast send back from Chen. Knew that they have to be a little bit careful about that, I must say. Like, G was like, "Alright, guys, I'm done. I'm out." And like, he's instantly out of the team fight, and his team's like, "Yo, dude, you can't just leave us here." And they have to be a little bit more careful about that in the future, because the Empire will capitalize, and they have the heroes to do so with the Batright and the Storm Spirit.
Yeah.
So nice send back from Chen. Maybe next time they just retreat together and make sure that they don't all get, picked off one-on-one or one by one when the Morphling leaves.
Oh, that is a dead courier with an ultimate orb on it. It was trying to get a Scotty from the secret shop, so that's going to be gone for G for about 3 minutes. So Scotty not there. BZZ pushes out the wave, then TP's home. Virtus.Pro for taking that fight and taking that Rax. They're kind of on the back foot now. There's a lot of aggressive wards from Empire, and they're at a very good position to maybe take a fight if Virtus.Pro are not careful. But as it stands right now, Empire are going to back away for the most part. Roche is up in a long time from now, so it won't be a point of contention for a period of time. Observer wards here. If they had that gem, which Jotum lost when he denied himself, they'd be able to counter ward this, but no such luck.
Yeah, Axe is just such a hero, man. Like, obviously BCC is playing phenomenally, but I just don't think he was nerfed hard enough. If even that was the problem. If this call is just so effective, like, it goes through BKB, goes through Magic Immunity. You can't use a Lincoln Sphere against it. There's nothing you can do. They had the swap initially for the Storm Spirit, which is nice, but when that's down, you pretty much have nothing. So as long as they get these continued nice initiations from BZZ, they're in a fine spot.
Now he's on the front lines now. He's pretty tanky, but they're going to initiate. They actually go for an illusion. And now the counter helix.
Oh my
initiation.
God.
BZZ gets lasted up. The double stomp from Sadoy. They're going to lose 2 heroes at least. Aloha Dance. Both supports are done. Resolution trying to fight. BZZ getting sent back. G manning up, but he has to strength morph. There's too much damage coming out from the side of Resolution. Really good initiation. BZZ is on point. Silent running out of mana a little bit. He should be fine regardless. He'll ball lightning away. Now he's completely out of mana, but he's too far for them to catch up to. Still, they take down both supports quickly. BZZ still chasing after Silent. Silent goes into the trees. No TP scroll. He'll have to wait for his mana to regen.
Well, they're searching him out. I wonder if they saw that he had no TP. BZZ is really adamant about this. Oh, he finds him.
Get him. Silent's going to try to run away. He still has mana to work with the ball lightning, but they're going to try to pincer move him. They're going to wait and see what he does here. The Berserker's Call gets off. Stomp is going to go double edge, and now we're going to see a Calling Blade gem from BZZ, and they get the gem back. That's it. Oh, man.
That's a clear point of persistence paying off right there for BZZ. A lot of times you feel like your movement could be wasted and your time could be wasted looking for kills like that, but man, when you know that there's a chance that they can still be around with no TP, it really pays off sometimes, and right there it definitely did.
We got a replay. I'm going to send it back over to Pinnacle, man. What's up?
Yep, there I am. Alright, let's take another look. I think one very important thing about this whole team fight was, now we have it paused. On the bottom side hand there is Empire Silent, and he already is going to be popping a very early BKB and trying to go for the Morphling, which doesn't really work out in the end. And, well, it was a replicate he was going on, and in the end it was just once again BZZ having a superior engagement, great teamfight execution coming out from all of VP, actually great Stampede as well, and the Kelling Blade movement speed. That's just so much to work with, and, well, it was an okay ultimate from the Shadow Fiend. But there was just no damage coming out from Empire after the very early BKB being forced out by, by Silent, of course. So back to you, Mod, to the live broadcast.
They're going to smoke in a Roche now for Empire. They're going to just take this so quickly. Wave of Terror, armor reduction from Presence of the Dark Lord, the right click, and this is exactly a play they need to make. They're going to get there a bit too late for Sadoy. He's going to try to blink and fight this, but now he realizes what he's jumped into. He's going to get telekinesis back down. Does get a 4-man stomp off. G looking to fight. Waveform might go here in a second. Now there's going to be a Berserker's Call. Resolution's going to get Fiend's Gripped as well. Waveform's available. He doesn't have a BKB. Resolution still has an Aegis though to work with. Requiem goes, but 2 dead on the side of Empire. Jotum will fall. BZZ getting Right click down the Scotty, slowing him down. Can't do much, and the pull-in from Silent Blink Stomp, but they can't do anything. They miss the Stomp under Resolution. Sidori getting messed up. He'll try to get sent back, but he should fall here. Solo, Yule Scepter keeps him alive, but that actually stops the send back, and he's going to go down. 3-for-3 trade. Of course, that is just the Aegis going down now. He'll respawn back up. Flame Break. Yule is going to get caught out. The only hero to survive is actually G, who's running across the map to the mid lane, heading up top. And what was a wacky, wonky engagement. He'll pop up his Manta-style illusions, stem them onto the melee racks. They might even have to glyph here if they're not careful.
Oh, man. Pretty crazy fight there. Unfortunately, the Bane wasn't able to really do much. He got the lasso off onto him after the grip. I didn't really see the initial grip, but I think the problem actually is Morphing just his right-click damage is... It's okay, but when he's constantly having to morph, it's not the greatest, and he has no shotgun, so the heroes are able to sustain a lot more on Empire. Also, the damage output from Vengeful Spirit having the auras is really, really strong, too. Actually picked up of Vlad's, too. We didn't talk about it. I don't know if he just picked it up just now. Although he has no gold, so I'm assuming it's a fresh pickup, and that's going to be even better for his team. Extra damage, extra armor, and I think that's really going to pay off. I think there's going to be a Sheep Stick, too, for Storm. I think Sheep Stick's going to be a little bit better, as opposed to like a Lincoln Sphere. And he's going to have that up now, too, so... Yeah,
I don't know, man. For how many times he's gotten Fiend's gripped, I'm not sure. I mean, you're probably right. It's probably Scythe, but Devil's Advocate for a moment.
I mean, they have, like I said, they can steal it with the Rubik. They can swap him out if they need to. They just get him out of harm's way, but... Yeah, I guess it could be a Lincoln's. Lincoln's is really good when you have a BKB, because then you can only cancel things that pierce through Magic Immunity.
I imagine Scythe is maybe a better option. Gonna have it, so flies out. Now he has a Hex to work with, which is pretty nice. This game is still in limbo. Like, we have a long way, I feel like, in this game, unless a fight breaks out and that just nobody has buyback. At this point, there's very few buybacks in the map. Virtus.Pro have 2 with BZZ and G, probably the 2 most important. Empire have the Bat Rider and the SF, so we're still probably not close to this game ending, but that could change quickly. 2.6k gold for the SF as well, so...
Yeah, I think this one could go really late, actually. Morphling still has 2 huge items that he could build. Probably Butterfly and... my guess is Butterfly and Ethereal Blade.
Yeah.
And then... I mean, I guess he could go for a Satanic... Like, Satanic Butterfly. But I just think Shotgun's so good on Morph in almost any situation. Maybe he's scared about a swap out, but I think Venge needs to prioritize swap for either Fiend's Grip or the Axe Call. Probably the Axe Call.
Yeah, that's the big... that's what's really been causing the problems, though, for the most part. And it usually does. The Axe has been pretty good this game. BZZ has had some really nice initiations. Back home. I think you're right. G needs some items. Specifically, he needs agility. And he can get Ethereal Blade or Butterfly. That'll provide a lot of agility with either of those items. He's going to buy... No, he's going MKB. You don't have a Butterfly yet? Yes, Resolution does. Okay.
I mean, damage. It's good, but I think Evasion's really good this game. Not to mention, okay, agility items are very, very good for Morphling for obvious reasons. But especially, people forget that Storm Spirit, most of his damage is coming out from auto attacks from Overload. It's not the damage from Static Remnant. It's maybe the damage from Ball Lightning if it's like a 2,000 range, or sorry, 2,000 mana usage of it. But his damage is coming out from auto attacks, and when you can evade 40% of it, I think is what it was with Butterfly, it's a huge damage mitigation. So, here we go. Fight coming out.
BZZ had a smoke broken, decided not to go on Aloha Dance, but they wait for him on him anyways. They're going to kill him. Adaptive Strike coming in. Wave of Terror goes on the backside, but I think if you're Empire, you just back up. There's no buyback for the Rubik, but he's not really that big of a target. They still have a tough high ground push coming in from Virtus.Pro. It was a nice smoke, though.
I'm scared for Storm Spirit if he dies, he has no buyback. Like, he needs 500 extra gold now for that. That's really scary. That's probably going to be a free Rax here.
Yeah, they glyph now, but, I mean, this wave will die. And they have a lot of creeps. The Chen creeps, the Granite Golems coming in as well. They are tanky. He has 7 strength, and he still has 2.3k health. Blink, Berserker's Call is going to go. They're going to find out Silent. This could be the kill they're looking for. Swap out, saves his life for the time being. He can't get the Culling Blade in. He stays alive. He's going to have to go back to base, though. Jotum gets right-clicked down by Resolution. Resolution and G going toe-to-toe. Resolution will have buyback. Jam goes in, I think, onto an illusion. Now the double jam coming in. BZZ gets the kill. Buyback coming in from Resolution. Aloha Dance back into the fray. He's about to fall for his second time. Now BZZ gets the double kill. Sadoi up in the air. Always want to fly. In trouble. Waveform out. G's doing work this fight. Silent pops the BKB. They get the Berserker's Call off. Now the match is going in for G. Waveform out. Resolution getting low. If he dies again, he will not have buyback. Stays alive. Gets forced out by Yoki. Yoki's now the target to go on. They'll kill him. No buyback for him. Berserker's Call onto Silent. It's going to be the option to go for him. Do they have the Culling Blade? They do. Silent's too tanky, though. G trying to man up. Going to Resolution. Resolution's going to fall. The waveform. Ultra kill for G. The buyback coming in from Silent. He just had enough money for it. G's still barely alive. Morphing as best as possible. The Hex is up. Now he can try to TP. Do they have Vortex? They do not. He'll waveform and TP out. He is going to make it alive, it looks like. G gets out just in time. What a fight coming out, and Empire barely surviving by the skin of their teeth.
Oh, man. The damage just doesn't seem to be there that much. Like, the damage output from Shadow Fiend is not really that impressive. Scotty, Mech, Manta, these are not damage items at all. His only damage item is a Butterfly, and really, traditionally, Butterfly's not even thought of that much of as a damage item. Like, it's okay on Shadow Fiend just because it gives him tons of attack speed, but the damage is just simply not quite there for him. He needs to get more tier 4 items. He needs to get like a Daedalus. He's going to need to get like an MKB or something to anticipate maybe a Butterfly coming out from Morphling next. But Morphling is just dishing out so much damage, but he just can't be killed. That's the problem. They're not able to really do enough damage to him once he gets that Morph off.
Yeah, he's been a problem the entire game, and he'll continue to be a problem. As he has now 4,000 gold in the bank, he just buys bots, because why the hell not? As MKB put in work in that last fight, the Scotty as well, and they actually only lose a melee Rex in that fight. They tried to go top before realizing there was a tier 2 tower there. And then like, oh, I guess we can't take this tower. Silent's going to kill Yol. He'll actually pop the BKB for it as well, but guess what? Fiend's Grip goes through that. They have Stomp. The BKB is about to go down. Grip was stolen, but they get the Berserker's Call off. Their Stomp's going to go in as well, but it doesn't matter. Silent, who just bought back, now has no buyback. Yoki might get chased down here as well. Sadoi and BZZ have their blinks up and ready to go in a couple of seconds. There's Sadoi. Yule Scepter will fly, but Sadoi's got to time this perfectly, and they just get the Culling Blade. And that's probably, I think, the beginning of the end here for Empire.
No buyback on Storm is, yeah, like you said, pretty much the beginning of the end. And he just doesn't have enough damage, and he can't really go... Like, that's the scary thing when I talked about in the draft, is it's very scary for Storm Spirit against Axe. I thought it was a very curious pick. I think Storm Spirit's a phenomenal hero, especially in the late stages of the game, but when you have what people call a 10-second cooldown RP, like for the side of Virtus.Pro Polar against a hero like Storm Spirit, he can never really feel like he can go in without with immunity. He just always has to be woeful of that.
Mm-hmm.
And even with the BKB, obviously he can still go. It's a problem here for Empire, so the Storm just can't run rampant.
No, he can't, and it's a big... I mean, the first pick Axe really comes into play. I feel like BZZ did the most this game. I don't know if you feel the same way, but I think that's the case.
Whether it's his play, which it definitely has been, or just the hero in general, and a nice draft from VP, this Axe has just been a huge thorn in the side for Empire.
And we thought that G might not have the best time mid lane. Again, his farm did stifle in the mid game, but he played very well for the most part, so he's able to carry to victory. That's it. I mean, tier 4s, Rax is gone. Silent's going to try to go in for one last hurrah here. They're going to wait for him. Berserker's Call is going to go. Resolution trying to fight, and they actually missed the Culling Blade. Not that it matters. He's dead. Resolution gets his Requiem off, but I mean, everyone's getting solo. G is actually getting a Fiend's Grip that was stolen, by the way. We talked about it. He's got a Strength War for the most part, but still does a lot of right-click. Aloha Dance getting Waveform down. Resolution getting Scottied and slowed down. Berserker's Call on a Yoki. Resolution swapped out, but still probably going to fall here. Battle Hunger's up. There's the call and the Culling Blade from BZZ, and that's your GG. And Virtus.Pro with very impressive first game here in this series. I gotta say, this was impressive. Again, you talked about it, whether it was BZZ's play or the Axe pick and draft in general. It was nice to watch.
It's just crazy how, in the last month or so, or 2 months, how much Axe has exploded onto the scene. Whereas before, when, say, like a year ago, if Storm Spirit was picked up into a draft, and you'd be like, what are some ways we could counter this Storm Spirit? Let's see. Okay, Bane is quite good. You know, Axe is actually quite good with the blink call, and people would be like, Axe, no one's gonna pick Axe. But now it's just like, it's funny that Axe is so popular, and they picked Storm Spirit into an Axe. I think that was the biggest thing. I thought the pick was a little bit questionable in general. Obviously, it wasn't just his fault. Like, I think he played the best he could. It was just, it's a very, very difficult matchup in general. I mean, you had the Axe to worry about, you had the Bane to worry about. And like you mentioned, since he didn't have a Lincoln Sphere, it's a free ulti every single time. And that was I think the biggest issue. Another issue is that Resolution just, I don't know if it was like the mech item build or the mech manta, but he just wasn't doing any damage. Like his right clicks were pretty pitiful.
It just doesn't seem like a good SF game in general, but more so than anything else, like you talked about, the mech build. A bit underwhelming. With that being said, though, we still have a second game to go. Our last game of the day coming up, 4 games in tap. We had some really good games earlier, 3 games now in the books. Thanks so much for joining us here on DotaPit. Again, my name is Mott. With me today, our production manager, Pimpmuckle, has been absolutely amazing. Give him a follow on Twitter, @Pimpmuckle. Of course, Tralf with me as always, @TralfDota, and you can check me out @MottDota as well. Make sure you check out DotaPit.com for more information. Twitter.com/DotaPit. Make sure you check out the Twitch Season Pass, $6.99, one-time purchase, provides you ad-free viewing experience, gives some money to the prize pool as well as us here at High Ground TV, and also get some great emotes as well. D-Pit Ice Frog, please, probably my favorite one. We'll take a quick break. We'll jump into our last game of the day, guys. Stick around.